What do you feel the behaviours inside versus outside are? Like, are things more settled outside? Are things more calm inside? A lot of the times we have a lot more incidents happening inside classrooms at the moment because of the age of our little ones and because we know that they've been cooped up quite a lot over the last, few years. So inside, they may not also be developmentally ready yet for the tabletop, open-ended play type activities like we would have expected 5-6 years ago. So do you have any proprioception resources inside? Like any resources like rocker boards, crash mats, forts, things to play and move their body on inside? And do they like to jump on the cushions, crash their body onto the cushions, make stepping stones out of the cushions? Yes, well, isn't it funny? Like when we were younger, we used to love the game of stacks on where we all squash each other. Yeah. Do you have anyone at your service that can sew? Because you can get a big long piece of lycra from Spotlight, and then you can sew it together like a tube. So it's like a long tube of lycra, and then you don't need to Velcro it onto the ground. You can just sort of crawl in amongst it. Do you have any spaces inside where we could make like a fort where they could, hide inside a fort? They can play dinosaurs under the table. Is there any sort of spots like that you have? Probably what I recommend with the fort. So if you get a table, you set up a space underneath the table. To start with the fort, imagine setting up small world, loose parts type play under the table, but there's no sheet on top of it. It's just you've set up the space under the table. Even if you decorate and stick things underneath the table with masking tape. So it's like a little mini adventure world under the table. What can happen is when children who have sensory difficulties, when they go under the table, it's sort of like, when you put a hat on and you shade your eyes with the hat, it takes away some of that sensory glare that's happening inside a room. So some children that are more sensitive to lots of sound and lots of brightness like it underneath tables because they can feel a little bit more safe and secure under there, and then they may be less likely to lash out with hitting or shoving or biting. It might just be a bit of trial and error, especially with the current delays that we've got in lots of our children's play and development. How do you feel about that? Just find her common interest. So say if it's dolls, if it's dinosaurs, if it's magnet tiles, whatever the resource that they already like, if we change up where we put it, whether that be under a table, near a cozy little corner that they can snuggle in, when we change up the environment to suit their interests, but also their sensory needs, it can lower the stress levels of that inside environment, especially over the big day. Do you have access to the folder that I created for your team? And so proprioception is this sensation of pressure and comfort, sort of cozy squeezing type movements. I've got a handout that shows indoor and outdoor ideas for that. So how we can add, you probably have lots of the resources already. It would just be rearranging them so you can fit them in the space. I'll just double check. I don't know if it's in your folder yet though. So I'll just put that in the folder for you. If you can just send me some photos, can just keep brainstorming from there. Would that be okay? Oh, you're so welcome. Take care and we'll chat definitely soon.